Hello everyone, Tone Deaf Monk here. Today I am back. I was life busy, family busy, and sick, so I couldn't talk for a while. Just a cold. But I'm back and I got a lot of stuff coming up. So I ended up buying a Hibby R3. I love that player. I'll have that in a different video. I have a 7 hertz encounter coming. I have the Hitiz MS5 coming. So lots of good stuff en route, and more excited that I've got some IMs like a U12T borrowed from a friend. So thank you, Kevin, on that one. And up's coming up, but I need to spend some time on that one to give it a super good listen. But so lots of good stuff. But today, Tangzu Shimin Lee encounter with two different names on here I want you to remember. SeeAudio has their name. Tangzu has their name. So just as an intro, I bought this one out of interest. I had the original one and sold that off as I really did not like the tuning on that one. Very wonky. So lots of marketing from SeeAudio and Tangzu on this one with a new driver, carbon nano driver, and in the same shell as the original, which was I had in silver. So let's get into it. Let's go back to the marketing. Fancy box, came with a little cleaning cloth, came with a scratch card that you could potentially win something, and new rubbery cable, 3.5 single-ended only. Little markings on the bottom, says left and right. The IM say left and right too, which is a nice touch. And the shells are like my original Shimin Lee that I complained about. They don't the fit and finish. Like, it's short on some parts, hanging over on other parts. Like the top plate doesn't fit on correctly. For me, the paint on the vent nozzle, around the little vent nozzles, coming off already. These only have been a few weeks old. So I'll tell you, the fit and finish is not great on these. Spoiler alert, I don't think you should buy them. If you want to end the video now, you can. But I would, if you want to learn a little bit more, that's cool. Please like and subscribe. I do appreciate it. Helps my channel out. And I love reading your comments. So, getting into the IMs a bit more. These are the metal shells. I love the shape of them, but somehow wherever the terminations come out at whatever angle, my ear hooks don't go around my ears properly and they kind of stick up. And I don't have that issue with any other IM, so it must be the shell. And I think the shell is also creating the tuning that I find a bit wonky, and I'll explain that. So the original ones, I never liked it was tuned very poorly in my taste, in my opinion, for my taste. And I think these shells are also contributing to the weirdness of this sound out of these things. So I was very polarized with the encounter. at 1 minute I'd be listening to a song, and I'll get more into more track specific stuff, but I was listening to a song and it's like, oh, these vocals are fantastic. And then I'd listen to a next one, Tracy Chapman, Sia Diplo, some jazz, and they got shouty in a weird way. I wouldn't say shouty, but they just got weird. If I were just reviewing these IEMs as a standalone and I never had anything else, I would probably be happy with them, quite honestly. But now we're talking $70, which is not a chunk of change. I'm going to do a little bit of just talking about. I have the Kiwi Ears Orchestra, or not orchestra, cadenza, the Truth Ear Ola, Simgot EA 500. Let's go back for a second. These two are the same price now, right? The shells on the EA 500 are perfect. I mean, the look, the fit, the finish, the super shiny shells that I've beat up with zero scratches on them. There you go. And so I'm going to compare it against that too. Talking about these for a second and then jump into the sound quality, I've never experienced, and I throw a different cable on just sometimes for fit, just sometimes for looks, whatever. Had the weirdest experience. I had just bought this purple silver plated cable and I was throwing it on there, and I haven't had this ever before in an IEM to this extent, where I put that cable on and I listened to the encounter and I went, wow, that is absolutely horrible. Where'd the bass go? And the mud, the vocals just went complete mud. I had a different cable, XINHS, gold and silver one. I put that on and it was fantastic synergy. It's like a $70 cable on a $70 IEM, so not recommended. I love that cable. I bought two now, but to make this help, no. But that was the best sounding. I put on that, same as the ear tips. I ended up putting Dunu S&S tips. They worked. There's something weird with my ears and this shell that I needed those tips to get a proper depth insertion and to get a good seal and make it all sounded as good as it could. Again, I source rolled off the topping amp, off the X Duo amp. I spent a lot of time with the new Hibby. Really like that player and its sound quality. And I tried some Shiu DAC. I've tried the Shanling UP5. So went for the whole gamut of different sources as well. Let's jump into some sound impressions. So stage is very intimate. Not a great stage. Not high, not wide. It's just not a overall blow you away soundstage in any means. The vocals overall in the upper mids and the highs are quite laid back, recessed. So sometimes a bit more muddy. Sometimes it plays really well to male vocals. Sometimes it plays really well to female vocals. So on certain songs, I really liked Holly Cole, Harley McNarland. I really loved her voice on this. Sting sounded fantastic. Shaggy had the right tonality. So let's just keep going on its sound. Bass was good, fine, not a bass head, but certainly enough there to keep you engaging. Pulls, guitars sounded fine as well. I thought sometimes it could have more energy for sure. Pianos in Hana Rani could have had more note weight. Didn't play it correctly, and it has something to do with the tuning on the Encounter. Some instruments, like trumpets, like I was playing some Louis Armstrong, Ella Fitzgerald, and some jazz, and the vocals were fantastic. But when the trumpets came on, it was like, oh man, there's something really quite off with that, and it just spoiled the whole song for me. So the bass was fine. Lower bass again was good. I mean, it upper mids are too recessed for my personal taste. My personal taste again is which I should have worked for this, was a warmer replay, more relaxed tuning, but with good extension. And so this graft looked like it should have worked for me. That's why I bought it. And the upper mids with the recessed just made the vocals with the right tonality, maybe, but I think too something recessed on them enough to change the way it sounds in a way that's not pleasing to my ear. So, and then the highs, it had decent extension, but it didn't have enough sparkle and resolution to bring out instruments, to make them pop. And that was really, really noticeable when I switched over to did some A, B, C, D comparisons. So that's the overall tuning. Average soundstage. Instrument detail is subpar. Vocals again could be hit and miss. Bass was good. But treble extension, getting shouty, I'm not sure a genre that this would play well in anywhere. So that was really the Shimin Lee's. I wanted to like it, and I love the color, and I think it was all really cool. But again, somehow weird fit, weird cable requirements to bring it out. And again, if you're buying a $70 IEM, I don't necessarily know that you should have to cable roll. I didn't really use the 3.5, I'll tell you straight up, and the factory cable. I'm not a fan of that rubbery. And again, I don't use anything really 3.5. I pretty much geared up, except for when I do my A, B, C, D, E comparisons off of the Head Amp 6 switcher. That's the only time I kind of use it. And because I didn't have that other cable to make it sound better, it just went really subpar on me. And the differences between the other ones were super noticeable. What does this thing do really well? Moving on. Let's get into some comparisons. I'm not going to spend a great deal of time in depth, super depth detail about personal tracks. I just don't think this thing deserves it. I think it's a pass, a hard pass. And now there's some controversy about its driver and its marketing, but it's marketing, right? Let's do some comparisons to the Kiwi Ears Cadenza. More bass, smoother. Not nearly as extended in the highs. Definitely better stage than the Encounter, in my opinion. And these are 70. These things are $20. Truthier Ola. This thing devastated the Encounter. Better stage, better bass, nicer highs, smoother vocals. $17. None of the little other crap like the little case and the box and the waifus and none of that means anything to me. It's all about the sound, and I would rather so much take 5 pairs of these in case I lost it or stepped on one or Kilo ate it. I'm not fishing that out over the Encounter. EA 500, same price. This thing is so outclassed. It's not just outclassed by the EA 500. It's outclassed by the $17 Truthier Ola. But the EA 500 SimGot devastates it in every single way. Better. It may not have the same kind of note weight for the vocals, but I would take this 100% of the time. When you do the A/B, switch them out, and you go, oh my God, that thing has no stage, no instrument separation. I missed all those details that I heard in this thing. And again, I use that same cable. I love this cable. For dynamic drivers, it just works really well. Add some good note weight to anything. The EA 500 is absolutely non-cable specific. Works for anything. Works for any source. Can't say the same about the Encounter. That's a huge negative against it. That's another one of the things I didn't like. But the EA 500, better shell, better fit and finish, better angle on the nozzles, adjustable nozzles. I could keep going on. I already did a review of these things and I loved it, but I loved them now even more compared to something at the same price that is, this thing was marketed to death. This thing wasn't marketed at all. These guys know how to market. Not at all. All about the music in the SimGot, all about the marketing in the Encounter. And that's really too bad. I have not bought a SeeAudio product yet. And I'm going, well, you guys put your name on this thing. Now there's a whole bunch of controversy about what drivers actually used. It is definitely a new driver, according to everyone who has opened it. It's a different driver than what was used in the original, and it's a different driver that was used in the Tangzu's Wanner as well. So it is a unique new driver, and that's its problem. The driver itself might be good, but it's this metal shell or whatever shape the shell is or artifacts that it creates that seems to be the problem. For me, in this particular IAM. But there is no doubt that the driver that SimGot EA 500 uses is a way superior driver to this driver here. So, and in my opinion, the Truthier Ola as well. So just in conclusion about the SeeAudio collaboration with Tangzu on the Encounter Edition Shimin Lee, hard pass. It's not worth the money. Build quality is poor. Wonky tuning still. Weird cable reliance. Source picky. I don't have the Wanner to compare it, but I heard this is using an almost identical driver, and that one is significantly cheaper than this. It's the same as... I did buy another Tangzu on the last one, and I was hoping for something better. I bought the Heyday Planar, and I really didn't like the way that one sounded either. Just wonky tuning. I think Tangzu needs to go back to the drawing board, figure out their proper, honest marketing. Stop putting waifus and stuff on it. Just get back to this, or don't. Anyway, thank you very much. Enjoy. Not these, but something else. Love you. Bye. That's it for now. Thank you. Super excited to share. Legato is going to be an interesting one. That one's going to go head to head with the AudioSense AQ4, which graph very, very similar as well. And with that, I think there's going to be a little bit more sparkle. So I'm excited for that. Keep tuned for that one. Thank you again for watching my channel and watching my videos. I much appreciate it. This is the Tone Deaf Monk. I love you guys, and I'm out.